What's up, everybody? How you doing? I just wanted to go through the process, or at least my process, with priming as far as orientation and PSD goes. First you're gonna be talking to a recruiter. Now, you're gonna ask a bunch of questions. They're gonna give you the best answer they can. Not all of them are gonna be factual. It's kind of just a thing that goes on out here. Uh, but for the most part, everything they say is gonna be right. So you're gonna give them all your information. Just make sure that whenever you're coming to training, you have, you know, all the information for the jobs for the past 7 years, and then three, really, if you don't have any CDL experience, and then after that, you are going to come to orientation. So before you get started with training, you have to get your physical and your permit from your home state. This can be done, right before you come. But I will tell you that if you're getting a physical, and if for any reason you're looked at for a sleep study test, or they tell you you're gonna have to get one, make sure that you don't waste your money at home. Something I would have liked to know before the fact. I spent some money before I came just to find out that they offer the sleep study here, and it's actually relatively cheaper than what you'd be paying even with co-pays at home with insurance you might already have. But you can do it as payroll deductions once you get training done. So save yourself some time and money, and just wait until you get to training, because they're going to make you go and do it anyway. Unless you already have the CPAP machine, or you are already on your way to getting the prescription done. And if you do, make sure that it is a machine that can have a modem installed so that they can monitor it. Otherwise, you're going to have to get a different one whenever you come here. So, one thing to remember whenever you're getting ready to come. I've been doing my 50,000 miles for about 6-7 weeks now, and I'm about 10,000 miles from being done. Now that in that, it's not really been all that bad. While you're in orientation, you're going to be in orientation about 3-4 days. Uh, I came in on Sunday, so about Sunday at noon, I checked in, had to do a little bit of paperwork before I actually got checked in. Took about 30 minutes. Then I came in, got my room, took all my stuff in, and I had the whole day to kind of just hang out, get a feel of the campus, figure out where campus in, like where everything's at and what was going on. Walked around a little bit, watched some TV, bring some books, maybe bring a laptop if it's not going to take up too much room. Something to do. TV isn't the greatest, and it does get kind of boring. But anyways, during your first day, one of the things that's going to happen in your morning class is they are going to bring you a meal card. And that meal card is going to let you get meals the first week that you're here. So while you're here, for breakfast you get $5.75, I believe, and then for lunch and dinner you get $7.25. They will punch your card. Anything you get at the cafeteria that's under that is going to be totally covered. I suggest, even if you don't get all of that for one meal, maybe get a snack or something for later in case you get hungry. Then you aren't having to spend any money on snacks. But you have that. If you go over, make sure you bring some cash. They don't take card at the cafeteria, but it's real cheap. Everything is very inexpensive. You're actually normally able to get well more than what you're probably going to eat in a day. I mean, I'm a big boy and I don't even eat my meal every day. You just want to make sure that you use the food card, because you had to pay. I know it's supposed to be refundable, but you had to pay the $100 to get class. It's something that's given to you. You don't have to pay it back. So you're paying for it in your schooling anyway by working for them for a year. So you might as well use it and get all your worth out of it. Your first day of orientation, you're going to have a sheet. They have everybody split up into groups because of this COVID stuff. And you're going to go to class at your designated time. Whenever you go there, they're going to have you fill out some papers. You're going to give them a green folder that the front desk gave you that morning you checked in.
to fill out and give back to them. It's so that you can start getting everything underway. And then they're going to give you uh, your schedule for the week. The schedule is going to be 3 days long, and you will go to class whenever you go to it. It is in military time, so but it's pretty stretched out throughout the day. And I suggest getting all your CBTs done in one day. It's about 7 or 8 hours of computer work, but if you bring a laptop, you can actually do it in your room, which is what I decided to do. And so I'm glad I brought my laptop because it did let me be able to be away from everybody, didn't have to wear the mask, got to kind of just relax and do it at my own pace, not be stuck behind a computer with other people or, you know, in a room with noises. So I was able to focus and get it done. The CBTs are very important. You want to focus on them and make sure that you get all that information whenever you get to the last 10 or so. Most of it's going to be paperwork that you need to sign, including the contract for whenever you're doing your schooling, and how after you work for Prime for a year, it'll be paid for, and if not, then you're going to owe them some money.
You'll have a few lessons on the computer doing simulator training, and then about the fourth or fifth day, you will go from that, and there you will go over. You'll have a tire class. You will go over your pre-trip. They'll give you a paper that's going to give you everything that you need to know as far as pre-trip goes for your driving test. Now, once you get that, for the first part of the day, if your trainer hasn't called you yet, uh, you will just be working on your pre-trip. You're going to go through and uh, work on pre-trip all day. If there's some driver there that takes a few students to do some driving, then you might get lucky enough to do a little bit of driving around the yard. If not, you'll just be doing pre-trip. About noon, you go to lunch for 30 minutes to an hour, and then you go back to doing your pre-trip, just waiting for an instructor to call. Now, I got lucky, and it was the end of the first day, and my trainer called, and then from there, you're going to go on your trainer's truck. Now, for PSD, it lasts anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks, is what they say. I was only out on the road for a week because I had a really good grasp of what was going on and how to do all the backing and everything. Now, with your trainer, the first 2 days that you have your trainer, you're going to be working on the pad, just practicing all your backing maneuvers, drive around the city a little bit, just get your bearings of the truck. We did that for 2 days, then we went out on the road. Went on the road for a week. That whole time, your trainer's going to be sitting in the passenger seat, and you're going to be putting in miles, getting training, learning what you're supposed to be doing as far as driving goes. Once you're through with that, you're going to come back to your terminal. You come back to your terminal, your driver sets up your appointment for you to do your test. You get 2 more days of pad training just to freshen up on all the backing and your pre-trip, make sure you know everything. And then your test day comes. When your test day comes, if you go and you take your test and you do what they call a trifecta, which is you pass all three parts in one shot, you are going to get a bonus. Now, of course, your trainer's going to get a bonus too, so this is their incentive to make sure you know what you're doing whenever you go to take your test. If not, it's no big deal. You'll just have to reschedule parts of your tests that you failed, and you will have to retake them. I trifected, did everything I needed to do, was able to get that $250 bonus, which is nice. Uh, and then from there, you're going to start doing your TNT phase, and that's whenever you'll actually start getting paid. Now, during PSD, whether it takes you a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, each week you're going to get a $200 loan. That you're going to have to pay back, but it's only $25 a paycheck once you get into the TNT phase, so it's hardly like you're going to notice that it's even gone. I pay $80 a week for my machine, so I have about $100 coming out, and you pay $2 for it to get monitored. Uh, Whenever you get that, you'll have to stay in compliance, and then in 30 days, you'll have to go back and do your test again. Now, for you bigger guys or girls that go to the training, they might flag you and say you have to do a sleep study. Now, if you have to do a sleep study, you're going to have to do your physical all over again, which sucks, but Prime pays for it. And you also have to do a sleep study. I had to do a sleep study. I ended up getting a CPAP machine, which at first I thought was a really sucky thing, but realistically, it's not all that bad. uh, I do get a better night's sleep, and apparently I did have apnea and not even know it.